Hi, everybody. Welcome back. It's Bessie and Ma, or maybe the other way around. You just never know, right?
Totally.
Do you feel like Ma? Do you feel like Bess?
I feel like Ma.
It's not good. So do I. Oh, so much, so much. Let's start right out with our scripture, and then we'll lunge right into our current state of affairs. Yikes. Psalm 19:14. Let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in your sight, O Lord, my strength and my redeemer. I know I keep saying it every time I read it. It's like, oh, it speaks volumes to me. Plus, I have noticed that I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's time in my life. I don't know. But now I'm reading a lot of different scriptures. And it's scriptures that I know, scriptures that I've studied, scripture that I've taught. And it's speaking to me in a total different way now. Hope it's not my age that's the matters. My current circumstance in life. I don't know. So, speaking of current circumstances, Bessie had a little EKG going.
Yeah.
How'd that go for you?
I finally got the results, finally.
I assume it's still ticking since you're sitting beside me.
Apparently so, yes.
Yay, that's a step in the right direction. Well,
they said everything was normal.
Kind of that's all they said.
Yeah.
That's a lot of 411.
Well, I'm still wearing this.
So. I'm anxious to hear what that has to tell us. I'm still wearing this. Shall we compare things? Do you like mine more than yours, or yours more than mine?
Yours is more interesting. Mine's just taped onto me.
It's a lot of tape. I can't think how much that's going to itch.
It is itching. It itches a lot.
How much longer do you have it?
Till the 17th.
Okay, and you also had a stress test, didn't you?
Yes.
Oh, both of us have something on the 17th. That's got to be fun.
What are you doing on the 17th?
I don't remember. I'll get back with you. My calendar is still filling up again. Now, what did your stress test reveal?
That was normal too. I don't know how. Is this all in my mind?
It can't be. They're taking your pulse and it's 160 something. That's all in your mind. Mine today was 45. I hope I'm still alive. I am still alive, right?
I think so.
Good news. So, something else I wanted to ask you about. I know that in and of yourself and what your heart is doing is in and of itself alarming and needs to be investigated. But aren't they kind of investigating you with other reasons backing it up?
Yeah, they asked if I had history in the family or whatever. And I know that Nana has something, and I can never remember what it is, which might be really important to this story.
Yeah, I'll tell you all about that later. I don't know if she wants us to
Do you think it would be important for me to tell my doctor?
It might be. Yes, I do think maybe it could be. I don't know why I haven't suggested that. But we all know that my brain has been on vacation a bit here lately. It's beginning to come back now, to the point that I'll think of like a word, like I'll be trying to get out a sentence and I'll throw in some big word and I'm like, oh, I just added a big word. I know, my life is, but it is exciting that it's beginning to come back. Anyway.
So then, since I couldn't think of everything else, I was like, well, my daughter does have heart problems. And they were like, well, have you ever been checked then? I was like, no, I've never had any problems myself before. So here we are.
I'm trying to think back into like forever. I mean, you kids were so healthy. I mean, literally your visits to the doctors, for the most part, just included 12 visits and that was it. I mean, you had that asthma incident going on. And I think dropped once upon a time, but y'all were so well. Like, you even still have your tonsils. Like, who makes
Thankfully.
it to this age with tonsils still? I don't know. The older you are, when they go out,
I hope I keep them forever.
odds are. Yeah, I don't know.
Most of like older generations have theirs, don't they?
I know that my dad had his out as a child, and as an adult, he was probably, I
Both?
don't know. Yeah, they grew back.
They can do that?
Apparently, because they did.
Wow.
I mean, he was a sick puppy for that. Like, it took him. I mean, I remember when I had mine out as a kid, I was like 4, I think, 3 or 4. I was young as far as the whole tonsillectomy thing goes, adenoidectomy thing. At any rate, I remember it being terribly painful, as in my mom wanted me to eat oatmeal, and I was like, it ain't gonna happen. No. I mean, it was painful, but I don't think it was anything compared to what he experienced. So it's kind of like, if you're going to get it done, you kind of need it done sooner than later, I think. But then again, I am no expert.
I'm planning on keeping mine forever.
You do that. I was planning on keeping a few things forever. It didn't quite go that way. Yeah, good news though. I went briefly to the doctor today, and they were talking about that condition that was sort of going around, and it's gotten to be way more doable now. I think you're not supposed to say it.
Why not?
I don't know. But she was saying that, like, at first, their office was just scampering around like, we don't know what to do, and they didn't know what to do because it was new and no one did know what to do. So I think it was concerning at their level, and I guess probably even more frightening to them as healthcare givers than just the common everyday ordinary people, because they're getting exposed to this strange item that no one's clear on what to do about. So she was talking about that, but she said it's gotten way milder now. But she said that she thought that it was going to totally clip her wings for a while there. She did a rebound and she was back. And at one point she was talking about, people in, my age group, not yours, I'm like thinking, we're like the same age. I just told you what year I was born, that we're about the same. No, she was a lot older than I am. When she told me, I was utterly shocked. And she was like, she'll just keep working because she loves it until she feels like it's time, and she'll know when she feels like it's time.
Wow.
I know, right? Isn't that cool? And her personality was really good for it too. I mean, as a patient, it felt good being around her. So that was good. Okay.
I wonder if I've seen her before.
I didn't notice her name, come to think of it, and I could tell you about everything else about her. She's got 2 kids, and
See, I never get information like you do. I don't make friends like you do.
I don't make friends.
You make friends everywhere you go.
Nobody likes me. I don't know what to say.
You can meet them once and have their whole life story. I can see them every day for months and still not know anything.
I'll coach you on this. It's all a matter of running your mouth possibly too much. And they have no choice but to defend themselves by giving you information. I don't know. So once they found out about her condition? Did it make them more alarmed that you might have something going on?
Yeah, that was one of the main reasons they went ahead and got me tested.
I still wonder if it's some of the medications you take. I am suspect of that stuff. I mean, if it was possible, whatever, to just come off for like a month just to see. I know. I get it though. I understand. And I saw oncology, I think it was Wednesday. They've decided to stop giving me shots because they're not helping anymore.
Well, now what are they going to do then?
We'll wait and see what my body decides to do. They're hoping that they're sort of saying to my body, swim, sucker, and see what happens. Hopefully it swims. Let's see. But I finally remember the name of the shot is Florzio.
Wow, that's a weird name.
That's an expensive name. So,
have you been drinking that blue stuff?
maybe not. But I have a similar thing in pill form. I never remember to add it to anything. My hair fell back out.
I could tell there was no fluff back there.
And the fuzz that I had, like almost prominent on my cheeks, is almost all gone too. My eyebrows are.
But you're not even on anything anymore.
It's the weird thing. It was growing. While I was on chemo, it started growing out. But I got concerned because then it turned that weird greenish color that it turned before I found myself looking at a bald woman. And then sure enough, like I'd go, oh, whatever, and hair would, and then I was like, no, I ain't not looking to feed people hair. So I was wearing hats all the time and lost the battle. So back to a little shiny head. I don't think it's going to take as long this time to start coming back as it did last time, though. Hopefully the
Any taste update?
now I know, like, if something tastes terrible, I know that from before it just generally tasted terrible. And now I know if it truly doesn't taste very good. So soon I'll know actual flavors.
Have you had anything lately that was really awful?
Well, what I did do, and I don't know if it was taste buds coming back to life or what, but I made a healthy soup of cabbage, beans, carrots, and onions, and tomato sauce. I don't know. And I also put in a lot of like spices, hoping to ramp up flavors so that I was like, okay, I can taste this. So then at the last minute, I also decided to throw in some pickled peppers.
Spicy ones?
As it turns out, yes, it was. Very.
I was
knew
about to
that.
ask you for some of that, and you just ruined that whole.
No, it's not. It was only in my bowl.
Oh,
It was only in my
bowl?
personal bowl. Yes, I did not ruin the whole dish. And I made myself eat it because I was like, I'm still not going to throw away good food. Or at least it's bound to be good. I don't know. I re-killed my taste buds. Hold on. They were like, this woman be crazy. We're packing up and leaving again. But it did encourage me to do a lot of water drinking. I think during that one meal, I drank my whole day's worth.
I'm picturing you eating this now. I'm not.
It was.
I'm not going to throw it away. I'm not going to throw this away.
That's how it went. Yes, that's pretty much. Yes. Fortunately, I was able to be the only one witnessing this debacle. I mean, I think that they might have tasted good on a more limited scale. I might have gotten a little bit carried away, possibly. Just a little.
Ooh, have you made anything from your new cookbook yet?
I'm going to make the bean burger definitely. Like, as soon as I finish this audacious amount of stew, I want some. Take it home for supper. Convince dude it's really good since he's picky. That still puzzles me. This individual will sit down with a big old plate of chitlins, and then if it's like something like, I don't know, potato salad that's got mustard in it, he's going to flee.
Yes,
I
absolutely.
would flee from the chitlins and not look back. True story. He doesn't eat pluck too, does he? Does he eat pluck?
I don't think so.
Good.
I don't know what that is.
No human should. You don't want to know. It's best I'm not going to that. I still stay a little bit queasy. So at this point, I've got radiation behind me, chemotherapy behind me, and all I've got left is some imaging around the corner. Hoping that goes well. Speaking of stuff that kind of like brings me to prayer, I am totally a big believer in prayer. And yes, I am. Anyway, as a reminder, we are full-blown launching our prayer channel next week. I don't know the date yet. It sort of seems right to do it on Wednesday, but I've got a partner in crime on this. So it'll be kind of like whatever day we both are up and running kind of a thing. My energy is doing a lot better. It's still nothing to brag about because my red blood cell count is still pretty low, and that's the one that carries your oxygen, which is how come I still can't think, which is how come I'm still like, it's lots of reasons to still feel quite tired frequently, which I do. But, still, if that's all I got to complain about, that's good. At any rate, our prayer channel is Pray in His Word. Pray in His Word on YouTube. So take note and please join us. I'll see if my partner in crime will add that to the bottom. She's great at editing and stuff. Me, not so much. But she's good at everything. She's smart. She's got it going on. And let's see here. Well, every time we're together, it's more like, hi. It's all about me, not about she. Can you get closer to Bessie? Hello. See, isn't that better? You keep ending up somehow. I think it's because you keep turning.
Yeah, it's
and then
more
that then makes
comfortable in
you
these
like
chairs.
further away. So now we're closer together, unless it's my show and not yours kind of thing. So do join us for the prayer channel. But even at that, if you have a prayer request, even if it's a praise, no matter what it is, drop it in my comments or whatever. I'll be more than happy to pray for you, pray with you, pray. And on the prayer channel, it will be dedicated to just prayer. There is so much. Every day I'm hearing more and more, someone requesting prayer for various reasons. And it's just so many reasons out there now that we're turning to their Heavenly Father. And we will happily come alongside in prayer. Again, even if it's a praise. But right now I find my heart burdened with people on the West Coast fleeing their homes, worrying about mudslides and such. I thought that the fires were bad, but you can't do anything with this mud coming at you either. So it's so much to be prayerful about right now. So that's it. I also pray about you, by the way, all the time. My baby.
I probably needed it.
Maybe not. Yeah. Now that you live in a haunted house.
Absolutely.
We won't go with that. Rebuke that.
You know they exist.
I do, unfortunately, know that these things, evil is definitely running around with us. That is for absolute certain, which is
Pieces of cake don't roll away.
I got one to tell you too. And one more thing, which has nothing to do with anything we've ever covered. But this is just something, maybe if someone, I think I understand air laws on this, but if someone thinks that they can possibly help me out and enlighten me, I welcome the information. But we've, as you know, it's been hunting season like all over the place, and we've got kind of inundated with hunting dogs, which means like you don't sleep at night because they're out there parking. They're chasing the goats, so we had to put the goats into their stalls. It's like this variety of things that we do to make our life in general safer during hunting season. Like you don't dare feed an animal and such without your blaze on, even though you're technically in your own backyard. But we had a hunt dog, and we were going to notify the owners. Meanwhile, someone else came, and they proceeded to be extremely unhappy that the dog was in human possession at the moment. And later on, we received a visit from our local law enforcement. That was fun. And he explained to us that our farm is a good deer run, but it's not a natural deer run. They use their dogs to force the deer from one area. You hear them coming from far away. You can barely hear the dogs. And then finally a mortified deer emerges, runs across your yard, runs across the highway, and then ducks into the farm, and then runs almost the length of the farm, pops out in a different area where hunters are supposed to be. And it just emerged into a firing squad. It's horrible to hear because you know what just happened. I had counted 30 shots. So I'm busy thinking either what they have now is an adrenaline-filled piece of Swiss cheese, or they totally messed all together and they really need to just go home because it ain't safe out here for anybody if that's how well they shoot. But the thing of it is, I was getting basically fussed at because they're purposely setting their dogs loose to chase on my land, confining my whole life for about 2 months because they released them long before hunting season. And the poor little things are quite hungry and everything by the end of hunting season, and skinny, and I don't know. It's just not. Okay, I guess my question is, do I really have to let these animals purposely, do the hunters get to purposely let their dogs run my land? It sort of doesn't seem right. I get it that they're there to chase a deer and the deer might enter your land. I would enter almost anyone's land too if it got me away from the dogs. I'd do the same thing. If I were deer, I really don't think I'd be checking property cards or whatever, see who owns what. I would just run. And I'm sure that that's what the deer is doing. And I'm sure that the dog is trained to get chased to said deer. But these are purposely, based on what this law enforcement fellow said, they're basically being forced to run deer across their land. And if we do anything to impede the dogs from giving chase of the deer across their land, then apparently we're going to get a visit. I can't really say I enjoyed it. The man was perfectly pleasant, but honestly, it was a little bit not fun. It just wasn't that much fun.
I missed the whole thing.
I'll invite you next time and you can just deal with it, because I was like, I don't feel good. I mean, and they had already yelled at us. So it's kind of like, I don't know. I was already thinking, enough said when they finished yelling at us, And I was like, good thing that's done. And no, the last day of hunt season, it was the night of the last day of hunt season. I heard this tapping on the door, and I'm like, is this someone knocking at the door? Like, who would be knocking at the door? And I was told that it was my dog wagging its tail and clicking into something. About that time, it knocked again, but it had a rhythm like, and I'm like, someone's at the door. And sure enough, it was someone at the door.
He didn't do the police knock?
Well, he did the
Wham,
second
wham,
time.
wham.
It was a pretty decent wham the second time. The first time it was just sort of like, knock. But since then, I've also been told I didn't have to talk to him. So next time, I don't think I'm going to. I just won't answer the door. Because I don't want to talk to him again. Again, he was very nice. He was perfectly cordial. It was just, I didn't feel good, and it just wasn't, I don't know, it wasn't fun. And I guess I'm kind of bewildered as to why I have to let someone purposely run deer/dogs on my land. And I have to keep my goats locked up for a month when they're not even supposed to be. That adds a layer of chores. They're unnecessary, because then, like, every 3 days, you really need to clean that area out and give them new bedding. And so it's expense, plus it's the chore, plus no one's happy. I mean, the poor little goatlings aren't happy, all jammed up in there for basically about 2 months just for their own safety. I don't know. If anyone does know, let me know. That would be cool. Okay. Is there anything else that you wanted to cover? Was there more about your test and everything you wanted to cover, talk about?
No, so far everything's come back normal, and I'm questioning my sanity now.
It isn't you. I mean, it's really something going on in your little special box. Should give you, I hope, lots of 411. Oh, did you notice I got lettuce growing?
I was wondering what that was.
I
up
got
there.
me some lettuce growing.
Is that sound rain or your heat running?
I think it might be both. We're supposed to get rain, but it isn't supposed to start till later.
If that's rain, it's raining really hard.
Well, definitely the heat is running.
Oh.
But don't forget to find us on our prayer channel and join us there. I want to make definitely certain I get the name right, so I'll look at our little thingy. It definitely is Pray in His Word. And I'll try this. I don't know how well it'll work, but that'll identify. Pray in His Word.
But it shouldn't.
Smart girl. This is what we look like if you want to look for the logo. Ooh, that's terrible.
Oh, it's coming.
Is it?
Yeah.
Can you see it?
Yeah, I think it's adjusting and coming in. I think it worked.
Okay. That is our logo. If you want to try to find us just based on the logo. But again, it's Pray in His Word. Please join us. And it's just people joining together, praying. And we'll pray for you. We'll pray for current events. We'll pray about things. Just let us know. Join us, please. and let us know what is on your heart. And again, if you don't want to go find the channel, but you do have a prayer need, just drop it down in my comments. I'll be more than happy to pray with you, for you, alongside, whatever. I'll be more than happy to. And until we meet again, peace
Peace.
be with you.